Hi. Hello, I'm Furi. I'm South African. I found it really interesting at South by Southwest how many talks emerging markets were mentioned in. And in fact, there was even a keynote speech by Chelsea Clinton where they spoke about the work they're doing for the Clinton Foundation in emerging markets. And it's really an interesting topic for me. When The Guardian asked a random selection of 2,000 people across the UK, what do they think of when they think of Africa? And more than half said poverty, famine, hunger. But only a small percentage said growth, business, education, or landscapes. Now, our main source of information about emerging markets is short reports on a war year or a terrible drought there. No wonder our views are sometimes negative or filled with a feeling of hopelessness. But why should we be interested? Let's take a look at sub-Saharan Africa. Africa's economy is growing faster than any other continent. According to The Economist, 6 of the world's 10 fastest growing economies over the last decade are in sub-Saharan South Africa. Since the mid-1990s, the economy has grown by an average of 5% a year. At the start of this period, Africa's trade with China was minimal, but is now around $200 billion a year. The African middle class has grown over the last 30 years, and it's actually tripled. Africa now has the fastest growing middle class. According to Standard Bank, around 60 million Africans have an income of $3,000 a year, and 100 million will in 2015. That's a lot of people who are interested in buying consumer electronics, fashion, and fast food. But things are different there. This is a picture from space at night. As you can see, Africa, the dark continent in the middle, it's dark because more than 2/3 of residents in sub-Saharan Africa don't have electrical power. That is around 500 million people. The lack of electrical power and infrastructure is one of the greatest challenges Africa is facing today. As a result, they skipped the desktop era, and it's a mobile-only continent now. It's interesting if you look at this picture in another way, that's also the amount of data we have of Africa. It's a bit of a black box, and we've got loads of data about our consumers in the West. So Africa is buzzing with its own brand of innovation, taking existing technology and adapting it to new uses. So in Tanzania, for example, the majority of people live without electricity, yet 1/3 of the country uses mobile phones. So what do you do when your phone runs out of power? And out of necessity, the bicycle becomes a phone charger. So you plug your phone in and charge the battery while you pedal away. But last year, smartphones overtook feature phones. Africa's mobile phone market is 650 million subscribers strong, which means it's bigger than either the United States or the European Union. Most people's first encounter with the internet will be through a mobile phone. What we consider as low-end Android is the typical Android in the developing world. According to Ericsson, this is the K-Touch. It's the most common used phone in the world, and it has a single core processor, 3.5-inch display with 480 by 320 resolution. And then when you hear about the next billion people going online, this is the kind of device they're going to use to do it with. This is an example that shows how a low-tech solution is making a profound sustainable impact on people's lives. Smart textbooks, a campaign by DDB for Smart, the Philippines' largest telecom. They collaborated with authors and publishers and refined school books and programmed surplus SIM cards with 160-character text messages. And this turned even the oldest analog phones into a new kind of e-reader. Mobile phones have changed lives in Africa. For example, mobile money services. All the talk of Bitcoin overshadowed the real e-finance revolution. A service called M-Pesa has replaced banking for millions. 43% of Kenya's 40 billion gross domestic product flows through M-Pesa. Mobile money is used to pay bills, make payments to individuals, and even send money abroad. Windhoek Lager, I'm just going to, sorry. It's not, oh, I'll go back. Windhoek Lager developed a system whereby revelers at the famous Oppie Festival in South Africa can order a free beer through their GPS-enabled smartphone, and the receiver can, at their approximate location, via a specially purposed drone. So, having fun as well in Africa. So, 3 takeouts. We have to understand the context of marketing. Understand the context of the market, then you will see the opportunities to innovate. To develop exciting value propositions that are relevant to the audience, and adapt your approach to mobile to suit the technologies available. That's it.